Meditation is a non-negotiable habit, I believe, in Western culture. If you're a human being with a heart, lungs, mind, I believe that meditation is the one habit that should be part of your daily ritual as brushing your teeth in the morning is. And the reason I say that is because it is what is described as a foundational skill. Meaning, there is no pursuit that you are involved in on a daily basis that does not require the skill of presence, concentration, will, discipline. Now, these traits are a skill. It takes time to refine them. It's like a muscle at the gym. You cannot expect or hope to be proficient in a movement such as a pull-up or a dip if the muscles that allow you to facilitate that movement are ultimately and fundamentally weak. The same thing is true when you go down this road of perhaps increasing your ability to do complex mathematics. So we start off with complex mathematics being the outcome of what we would like to achieve. Well, if we have to understand complex mathematics, then I think it would be resourceful to have a good understanding of how to add, multiply, divide, subtract. Now, how does one cultivate the ability to add, multiply, divide, and subtract? Well, one has to cultivate presence, discipline, focus, and fundamentally attention. And I use this example to share with you the truth that there is no area of your success which is not first and fundamentally determined by your ability to remain focused. So meditation. Once your focus has become indivisible, meaning it cannot be divided, it cannot be split into multiple different areas, you will find the likelihood of your outcome increase tenfold. I strongly advise and compel you to contemplate the role of focus in your life, because there are many forces, perhaps even prior to this video that you are watching, that have hijacked your attention span and allowed you to train yourself in the direction of distraction, as opposed to what I am describing here, single pointed mind, single focused mind. It is incredibly frustrating when you see the state of many children, even adults now, who are unable to remain focused for a selected period of time. Even 20 minutes would be too demanding on somebody's cognitive capabilities. And it is a very easy outcome to blame it on some kind of ill-diagnosed medical condition, ADHD. It would be interesting to me to ask and entertain the question if they have trained themselves to be distracted as opposed to train themselves to being focused. Because I believe the latter point will be true. It is a skill to remain present, to remain focused, to have your attention be undivided. And it only takes a certain, a small period of time to start to see the results. It's similar to that of the gym. If you have never set foot in a gym before and your muscles are unfamiliar with the resistance of some of these weights, you'll find your body acclimates to them fairly quickly, and you'll be able to see tangible and palpable differences in how your physiology responds to resistance in a matter of weeks. Meaning, if your mind, if your attention, if your focus is somewhat unfamiliar with a state of flow, divine flow, of unparalleled focus. And you begin to take the actions and steps required in order to cultivate that kind of focus, you will find that in a very short space of time, you are able to subvert some of these negative traits that are associated with how you approach your pursuits in life. Meaning you are able to sit down at the desk and write emails and create content for prolonged periods of time with far less negative emotion and far more enjoyment. You will find you can step into that fabled and esoteric and very attractive state of flow, divine flow. So elusive, so romantic, and yet so powerful. You've all had the peek behind the proverbial curtain of being in those states of majesty. And it's something else. It's to truly sink into the moment, into the present moment, to be in the river of the Tao, the river of life, the river of flow. Start small. Start small. Start with a time and a place that you feel is going to be congruent to you keeping this practice for a long period of time. I like the notion of habit stacking, meaning if you already have an ingrained habit into your daily ritual, you can also add it onto that stack, and you'll find that your nervous system acclimates that idea more openly than opposed to you forcing it in an area which you have no prior routine. An example of this might be after you brush your teeth, and hopefully you brush your teeth before you go to bed, sit down in a quiet space for 5 minutes. Your body will get used to the familiarity of the cleanliness, minty fresh sensation of your mouth, and also associated with the peace and tranquility and equanimity of your mind when you're sitting down in that predetermined state, that predetermined environment, where you cultivate focus, you cultivate your attention, where you step into flow. And then you'll find yourself unable to sit down, go to sleep, without having prior practiced cultivating your focus, cultivating your attention. It's substantial. It's a substantial difference in terms of your ability to mitigate and navigate past negative emotions when you're in this kind of very focused state, my friends. And it's a gift I want to give to you. And don't deny yourself this gift. I think you should treat yourself like somebody that you are willing to and wanting to help and ultimately see a difference in their life and their well-being and fundamentally their health. So I think this is something that is, in my opinion, as I prefaced, a non-negotiable, as it is part of the cornerstone of the practice, which will ultimately see you get the things that you want. And that is the takeaway point that I'm speaking about in this particular lecture. So I hope this was resourceful. I hope it motivates you to get back into the practice. This is something that has slipped between your fingers, as it can slip. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with the practice and want the, final and conclusive piece of rationale to tip them over the edge to actually synthesize that knowledge into wisdom, which is the synthesis of knowledge into a practical habit, this should be it. It is the cornerstone of the practices that will allow you to get the things that you want. It is part of the system that will allow you to get the things that you want. So, with that being said, ingratiate that system and get the things that you want.